Okay. I'm only making this video because of a lot of reasons. Um, I've been streaming a lot on twitch.tv/Noah official. I play a lot of Rainbow there, but I'm making this video out of confusion. For those of you that live out of the state of Texas have or live in the state of Texas or either too young to understand or just don't care. Um, Texas Greg Abbott has just passed a law saying that schools can now disregard books that schools feel do not like. How do I even say it? I don't even know how to say it. The law states that they can just get rid of books that they feel like it's like a censorship, and they say that you can get rid of books that have to like can like boggle or do something to the child. It was only supposed to be like one specific topic, like hey, like we don't want this talk in our like any of the Texas schools, get rid of it. Well, then walks in Dr. Glenn. Dr. Glenn is a director for my hometown, and Dr. Glenn has made some very questionable choices in his term of being director of the Granbury High School or the ISD in general. He's made some very questionable decisions in his life and as his term for being a leader. Um, Greg Abbott and Dr. Glenn have decided that Granbury High School will no longer feature books that have to do with sex or sex education. No longer will do anything that has to do with the LGBT community or has anything to do with topics of race. All those books have been taken out of the library from my old high school, and obviously this has caused an outrage from a lot of people, mostly people who don't see a problem with this or the older generation of people, because they believe that all this change is the work of the devil, which is blasphemy. Um, Obviously, people have been speaking about it. I have a person that I know who does internet things as well. Her name is Holly Hodges. She did a take on this as well, and it was very moving for sure. Uh, I did watch the video. There was a video put out that was Dr. Glenn talking to a bunch of students, and Dr. Glenn just didn't seem to care. He didn't care about their opinion. He didn't care that any of these people were so he's silencing a minority, which already in of itself is very bad. It's a bad look for Granbury. We were on the NBC News. I did see talking about it as well, and it is a total violation of our rights as people. Um, I just don't know what his brain was thinking. It's just wrong. You're segregating different groups of people. And it doesn't I know it doesn't help that Dr. Glenn is a white American. Um but I mean, take it as you will. It doesn't matter. I from one quote that I remember from watching the news was he said that I don't want kids at the age of 13, 14, or 15 taking in this information that could question their lives. And the only thing that I really got out of that was he doesn't want like parents coming back at him and voting against him. So, obviously this was hatred towards minority. Obviously, it was 100% an act against minority. And it was terrible, dude. I'm so glad I left when I did because I would have lost my marbles if I was in there. It's heinous. It's just disrespectful. Like you're gonna sit here and tell me that you're gonna get rid of all the sex education books. You're gonna get rid of all the books regarding race. You're gonna get rid of all the LGBT books and like novels and stuff, like information. Like you're getting rid of information. Like I know for some people who just didn't go to my high school, just they don't understand. But we need this education because our curriculum never taught us any of the things that these books are giving us. And it is and it's kind of ironic, and I bring back to what Holly said in her statement. Holly said, and it's more ironic because her and I actually had this same class together. We ended up reading a book. It's called Fahrenheit 451. And basically this book is about a utopia that doesn't like books, and they believe everything should be digital. They have these people called firefighters, and these firefighters are basically the opposite of our normal day firefighters, and these firefighters actually cause fire to books. If there's any books or anything like that, they set fire to it. And that's exactly what's happening right now. What's happening right now is they're taking these books and they're saying, I don't like this, but you do. Well, that sucks. Because I don't like it and I have this power, I'm going to take this away from our generation and we will learn nothing about race or power. This reminds me of a Fairly Odd Parents episode that Timmy wishes that he was like, I wish everybody was the same. And obviously they grant the wish, they do all that, and it becomes a world of gray. It becomes a world that is literally everybody is the same object in the same world doing the same job, walking the same street with equal space between them, and they're just blobs of gray. And everything is gray, there's no color, there's nothing. And that's terrible. That is a terrible world to live in. Obviously, you can see my side of the story without even having to give in full detail what it is. It's horrible. It is terrible. And in Fahrenheit 451, there's the main guy. He was like, you know what, this isn't right. I'm gonna go on the rebellion. And this is that rebellion. This rebellion right here is that Granbury High School really needs to get their shit together. Because it was already a cluster of whatever the hell they could manage to get their taxpayer money. And this right here is probably the worst thing I have talked about in a very long time. It's disgusting. It's horrid. I don't understand how they could even get away with this because it seems like that is a violation of like the Constitution almost. Um, I it's so gross. It's really terrible. Like if Dr. Glenn somehow could see this, I have no words for you. I have nothing to say. Because everything that I would say to you would be said in this video. You are a lucky man to have lived in the time where segregation and distorting the minds of the majority and all of this was towards you. It's in your favor. That is horrible. that is such an abuse of power to know that all these people that are going to vote against it are just going to be on your side. That's terrible. That's horrible. And another clip that I would like to share that I remember, at least from watching it, is he quoted, "We are going to go through extensive research with these books and determine which ones are fit and not fit for our library." Well, I can already tell you rule number one is that he did not do a damn thing with those books. He said if it has anything to do with race, color, whatever you like, if you like male parts, girl parts, doesn't matter, get rid of it. It's gone. And that's horrible. Now, a part of me says, what are you going to do about it? There's nothing you can do about it. But another part of me wants to say, it's time to step up and do something about it. As I'm sitting, I've been ranting for 11 minutes unedited, but it's blasphemy, dude. I'm trying to keep my cool, but how could you do such a thing? You wonder why the success rate of tests and like the idiocy of all these kids are so high. It's prison. That school was prison. I am one of many kids that can say that that school was jail. It was so bad. You did not have a voice in anything, and the only people that had a voice in that school were the people that had money or had money. Honestly, it's a very sad truth, but the people who were on the school board official, obviously there were some people that exclude from this list, but for the mass majority, um people that were on the school board, for the kids at least, like the student council for example, were rich. They did some really stupid shit to get on, like to make their name known, and it's horrible. It was a very flawed system, and I am 110% thankful I did not end up like these kids. I'm lucky, super duper lucky, that I did not end up like these hooligans. And I can say that with 100% confidence. Is outright, it's greed. At the end of the day, it's a man saying, I have more power than you, and what are you going to do about it? And the answer is nothing. We can't. We can't do anything. But I gave my spiel about it, and I just want to get this off my chest. I've been thinking about it all day at work, and I just wanted to get it off. More videos coming eventually. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next Oblivion whenever I post. So goodbye.